guys, and welcome back. This is Chosenarchitect, and today we're jumping back into some more All the Mods 7 to the Sky. Hopefully you guys are ready. As you can see, we are back in our Twilight Forest dimension, and boy, do we have a lot of stuff to work on. We got visitors again. But yes, we are going to get into Botania today. And the reason why I need to get in Botania, you know, just straight and forward, is, well, quests. To be able to complete this, of course, by the end, we are going to need the Dwarven Master, which requires this rune. And we're also going to need this rune over here, Master of Fire. So just with that knowledge alone, we have to get into this. So that is going to be a thing. We definitely have to get into Botania. And, well, that's actually not too difficult. Botania is one of those mods that, well, I tell you what, I have done time and time again. And I can tell you it's only gotten easier as I have learned more and more about this mod. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, I think today we are going to go ahead and get all of our mana stuff ready to go. Hopefully get ourselves set up with the Gaia portal. But there is something that we have to do first, because if I plan on using this in any capacity, I am going to need access to coal. And as you can see, my coal supply is kind of dwindled. So we are going to up our coal, but I also need to get peer-to-peer set up inside of our network here. So yeah, we are going to need a bunch more, we're going to need more channels, because our channels are all used up, I guess you could say. So how am I going to do that? Let's first do our channels with the peer-to-peer. Now, the goal here with the peer-to-peer is to give myself 32 channels extra in this dimension. I think I can do this. And I'm pretty sure, you know, with my learning, I think I have a way of doing this. So I'm just going to need a single clear side of our controller in order to get this set up. So right here we have 8 channels. I think this side should be good for this. Now this does need to be connected. I do not want it connected to this, but we can connect it into this line. So I'm going to need cable anchors. I'm going to place a cable anchor up here to make sure it doesn't connect. And I'm going to place an ME peer-to-peer on this side of the controller. And then it does need to be connected into here, so I can go ahead and use some smart cable to make sure it is connected with some power. And there we go. So this is now connected. However, it does need to be set up. So the device is online. It isn't linked to anything. And it says carrying channels 0. I'm thinking it can carry channels directly off of this. So I'm going to go ahead and link it to this card. So as you can see, frequency says FADE. That's the frequency code. And we need to get another one set up in the dimension. Now we are going to have to change some things, because right now we are using every channel available. So let's head back into the Twilight Forest and get this working. This should work. I know we're missing, we're using up all of our channels. But I think for this, what I'm probably going to do is replace everything that's already hooked up to this with this new line. So let's grab this, get that all moved away. And let's see how we're going to connect into this. Now, this is probably going to shut off my power, because this is carrying one channel. If I go off of here, go ahead and break this real quick. So if I go off of here, this should give me a line that I can run dense cable off of. So let's grab dense cable, and we'll have our peer tunnel right here. And then all I have to do is click this. And now this should be carrying that 32 channel line off of it. It's a 0 of 32 channels, as you can see. That is perfect. And now when we connect our line back up here, let's go ahead and go all the way. Actually, we can take this to the side here. This should now only be using, let's see, once it connects up, 7 of the 8 total channels and 7 of the 8 here. Now, this is only using one channel for this, this connected 32. So I hope that is not too confusing. But this is how we're going to like share channels into this dimension, and for future channels as well, because we can have multiples of these. This is how you can route your channels around. And so this is technically using this for a channel and this for a channel, and this is using 7 of the channels off of the side of the controller. So this is perfect. So now we can actually run a new set of lines all the way over there that is going to be for our Botania stuff. So I got all of that hooked up, and I was noticing there's actually a mana P2P tunnel. What? A peer-to-peer tunnel for mana? That's kind of cool. I wonder if it, like, you shoot mana into the pier tunnel and then it comes out of the other side of the pier tunnel. I don't know. That's how some of the piers work, like the light one in Redstone and stuff. Be pretty cool. I don't know. We might end up testing that. But to get started with Botania, well, one of the main things we're going to need is, of course, a petal, which we do have a lot of the petals already because I was using them for dye. And we should have every variant of the flowers already. But if you don't already have all the variants of the flowers, that's fine. And if you haven't done it already, that's fine. You need the fertilizer right here. All you need is some bone meal, and literally you just need bone meal. And hear me out. The best way to get this, I think, is just doing bone meal on its own, turning the bone meal into white dye, and then using it to make this in that specific pattern you just seen there. So yeah, you can use bone meal specifically just to make this floral fertilizer. And then just right click it a couple times on the ground, and you're going to end up getting all of these flowers that you see that I have here. So petal apothecary, that's going to be one of the main things I'm going to need. And I mean, we just need a bucket to fill it up with. I mean, that's pretty simple. Actually, we're going to take this and get our water sources. A sink would work, or you could set up an automation system, which I'm not going to worry about too much just yet, but you can set up an automation system to automatically fill buckets, then right click them onto this. That is one way we can also do it. But right now, this should be a pretty straightforward little process. Let's go ahead and get this placed down. I tend to set up a little water source in front. It's actually been a while since I've done it like this. But here we go. Because we are going to be rushing into this, getting into this real quick. All we really need is this, some seeds, and to really get started, we're going to make endo flames. And then I guess the first flower we need to make is the one that is on the top of my head. Yeah, it's a pure daisy. We need to make that. So pure daisy is just white petals. And if we grab some seeds, we should have some white, we have some white mushrooms here, which is actually great. Oh wait, no, that just gives you dye. Do we not have the white flowers? Pretty sure we have the white flowers from Botania. Maybe not. I thought I had it. So apparently I'm going to have to make the floral fertilizer. Anyways, don't mind me just placing some flowers. All kinds of flowers, by the way. And just placing a whole bunch, whole bunch. And I should be able to get all of them. There we go. Wow, that's a lot of Botania flowers. And they really changed how this works. I don't think now you need to worry about the double talls using shears. I think now, whenever you, like, for example, if you bone mill the flowers and turn them into double tall, I think you get the double tall variant without needing shears, which honestly is just a little quality of life thing. So I think now it's as easy as like taking a petal, placing it down, bone milling it, and then punching it, and then you just get the tall variant and it turns into 4. So really that's a lot more automatable. That's so much easier than just needing shears, because usually you'd have to put it in a machine and so what, and the shears would have to break it and all that fun jazz. Yeah, now you don't have to do that. So if you want to duplicate petals, it's just as easy as placing a whole bunch down and then give them a good whack with the bone mill. Or there's a little contraption you can set up for it as well, using you know, places. You can basically put down a dispenser and one that spits bone meal, or one that spits bone meal and one that spits the petals down. And I believe Botania or Cork one has the functionality for them to be placed down. So let's go ahead and get started. We need the 4 petals and then a seed, and then bam, we have ourselves a pure daisy, and we're going to use this for stone. Some good old-fashioned stone. I should have some in here, and logs. Oak logs work just fine. I think any log will work. And yeah, we just need to surround this with those materials. Give it some time, or use your acceleration wand, and yeah, you can get yourself some living rock real quick and some living wood. Ooh, I think they changed the texture of the living wood as well. That looks new. Is this new too? It kind of looks new. Like these textures look different. The living wood definitely looks different. That is a very different texture. So one of our first steps is to, of course, make some mana. I like to set up some mana pools just like this. We are going to need ourselves a mana spreader, which should be pretty easy to come by. And this will be our first like method of generating a little bit of mana. We are also going to need to make ourselves our first little wand. So I think we take this, right? Or do we actually still use the logs? We still use the logs. And we need to make living wood twigs. A lot of this I have memorized, which is kind of funny. There we go. There's our wand of the forest, and we need to use this to bind it to this. So you hold shift and you bind. You need to make sure that you are in bind mode. You can shift and right click the air to change the mode. Function mode allows you to sort of point this in the direction you're looking. But make sure you're in bind, shift right click and bind. Perfect. Now we need to get some source of mana, which I'm going to be using Endoflames. I know Endoflames are overused. I overuse them, but they're the best early way to generate mana, and you can generate a significant amount of it by using it. Once we get our first amount of mana, though, that's when I'm really going to up my game, and we really just got to make a bunch of everything. So when it comes to Endoflames, we're probably going to have 8 mana spreaders right here, all running Endoflames, and maybe even spread from there. It's going to get kind of crazy. You just wait and see. So because I'm going to be making a bunch of the Endoflames, I think I am going to automate the Petal Apothecary, but I want to do it in a very fancy way if I can get this to work. So we are probably going to need a logic programmer. So we do need this bad boy. And we are also going to need... Let's see, integrated dynamics. We're going to need the variable cards. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to have a bucket be filled up from this ender tank and then be right-clicked onto this. So I basically need it to right-click here and go to here. The crazy thing is this bucket basically will always stay in this chest if this actually functions. So we are going to need a player simulator here and a player simulator here. And then we are need an item interface here, and then just a cable to connect them. And if all runs smoothly, this should work. However, we do have to program this very specifically. So we need to say, hey, on an empty bucket, I want it to be right-clicked here. And now if we notice, we can actually click. So we have this right here, click, or click item very specifically. And so we are going to have a click item happen on this. And we need it to be a right click, and it also needs to be an empty bucket, very specifically an empty bucket. So I can go ahead and say, all right, this is going to click item empty bucket. And perfect. So we know that that's going to happen. Now we need to have a full bucket, and we need to say, okay, right click here with a full bucket. So I have my full bucket. We're going to set the item, and we're going to set the item to full bucket, and we're going to place a card. So this should click a full bucket, a water bucket. Now when I place this in, hopefully we have action happen. If not, I'm going to have to adjust this. So this bucket right here, we have to go into the clicks and see round robin, blacklist, craft, right click. I believe, I don't know if checking this is actually doing the thing. And then right hand, continuous click, no, sneak click, doesn't have to. And transfer rate, offset, none of that should apply. And that should fill this bucket. It should be basically right clicking this bucket on the ender tank. And then this all should be connected together. Make sure this is on the same channel. Priority. Channel 0. Channel 0. Wonder what my problem is here. Okay, I got it to work, but it also doesn't work at the same time. I must stop this madness. Okay, because at the moment it is clicking, but it's also placing outside of the point. And I'm thinking that, I mean, maybe the only way to stop this is by putting maybe something in front to stop it. So we have this water source that's building up. It does make a lot of noise, but maybe I'll just use it as it goes. Oh, it's for some reason placing here. Okay, so with me putting a block here, it's no longer trying to place the water here. But basically all I did, apparently it wasn't able to click onto the inner tank for some reason. Or maybe it is, but it just doesn't work the same way. So what I have here is it just clicking on the water source block. And it actually pulls the water. It right clicks just like I would. And then this is then right clicking on this and filling this. Now the reason I need this to happen is for this purpose alone. Let me go ahead and show you. So in Botania, for Indoflames, we are going to need these brown petals, red petals, and gray petals, and seeds. So the cool thing is with this automated, I can kind of set back and just do a bunch of crafts. So if I put the recipe in, which I think is 2 brown petals, 1 red and 1 gray, which it is, and we have an empty hand and we place the seed, notice when it fills up, I can just sort of like click with my hand and then place the seeds. Well, the thing that I can do now is I can just drop all the seeds on top, and then I can just stand back and just craft these over and over again as needed every time it fills up, because the seeds are sitting on top. So let's go ahead and get these placed down. I love to use this. Call it my thing, I don't know, but this is what I like to do for Botania setups. Is I find this point and I place down petal apothecaries, and then the petal apothecaries allow me to place the mana spreaders on top of them. It's almost as if this was made to do this. I don't think it was, but this actually makes for a really great stand. I know there's a bunch of different variants of petal apothecaries here, but still, I think this makes for a beautiful stand. And we can now point these. For right now, they're going to be pointed all to a single mana pool, if they can reach. And then we're going to basically place down a bunch of Indoflames all behind each one of them. So we should be able to get, I believe it is, let's see, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I believe I can move these around a little bit different than the way they are. But the goal is to have a block of coal land here, and for all of these to be able to at least absorb it. So I think this one can pick it up. It's 3 blocks away, and I think it can. We just fill up, make a little 6, because these actually work really well. 1 mana spreader can handle about 6 Indoflames. So we just throw these all back here. And we just hope that we have enough coal. As you can see, I have to make even more Indoflames. All right, so now that I have my petals and everything placed in, I've got to get this automated. Now, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of options as far as droppers go in this. So I'm going to be doing it the old-fashioned way by using a hopper, or using a couple of hoppers. We're going to need 4 of them. That should work just fine. And we're actually going to use the hoppers as the shutoff valve. And then we're going to use redstone links to link a pressure plate, and the item is going to be dropped from a Botania, if I can find it, a Botania open crate. Perfect. So yeah, to make the open crates simply like this, we are going to need 4 of them. And so the open crates are going to be placed directly on top of these, and all the open crate does is when you feed it an item, it drops it straight down. And so it's going to drop onto here, but this pressure plate is going to activate this redstone block, sending a redstone signal up. That redstone signal is going to go into these hoppers, just like so. And then the hopper is going to have this black ender chest. And the reason I coated it with the black dye is so that way this is going to represent coal, because this chest is about to be filled with coal. We are going to have an exporter exporting all the coal, which we have a lot of, out of our system, by the way. Because I have all the max stuff going, we have like infinite coal. We have almost infinite of all resources at this point, by the way. It's kind of ridiculous. So we'll get that hooked up, but first before we start dropping anything out of here, let's go ahead and get the redstone links hooked up. Now, I can kind of disguise them a little bit. I'm going to place them like this. And each one of these is going to have its own sort of program that's going on. The bottom, these are all going to be linked to their own thing. So this is going to be connected. This one's going to be connected, but it's going to be connected differently. Let's get all these hooked in. And then I can start to code them. Now, we do have to have these set to link mode or set to receive. So this has to be clicked once with the wrench to set that redstone mode. Now keep in mind, the crate is not redstoneable. The hopper is. That's what we're going to be doing. So when this receives a redstone signal, when an item lands here, that sends a redstone signal. And what we want is it to send a redstone. Wait, what? Did I just see this crate receive a redstone signal? Hold up. Hold on one second before I even. Oh my God. Wait. It's because all of these are linked. Is it though? Or is the crates? Okay, so the crate is active. It was just giving a redstone signal. That's so weird. I was thinking there for a second. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, it basically I just shown how it works. The reason these are working is because they're all connected to empty channels, but we need to make sure that we have all different channels. And we can use all kinds of different items to do that. Just for this, for example, I am going to use this block, and then down here, use this block. So now this one's linked. This one, I can use this block, and so on and so forth. You get the point. So now that I'm back here, there is something that I definitely have to do. I need an exporter, and I am going to use some speed upgrades to upgrade this bad boy. But all I really have to do is just place an ender chest down here. I'm probably going to place it right here. We can use the black ender chest, place it right there. Looks good. And we are going to send massive amounts of coal. And as soon as we do this, everything should start working. So let's get some coal. And should I have it auto craft? Actually, we might create crafting. I think we should just have it always auto crafting and filling this up actually instead. That could work. Actually, let's just have it auto craft, and then we will tell this, hey, I want to always craft coal blocks. This should work. Yep, have it always crafting coal blocks. Be nice and speedy when doing so. We can probably put it in the same one as this setup. Actually, we'll just put it over here. There it is. Okay, perfect. So we'll get that going. We'll make sure to always have this going in here. Throw some speed upgrades in there just to make it a little bit faster. And then cable it up. I promise I'll clean my inventory, but I am just getting it hooked in. And let's see if this is going to actually start working. Currently none of the, there it goes. Look at that. So it's doing 4 at a time. So it's crafting 4. Honestly, this will fill up, so it won't be crafting all the time. As soon as it gets all the inventories filled up, all the hoppers filled up, bam, it'll be smooth sailing from there. Because I mean, this is going to be going really well. So let's head back to the Twilight and just check on it for a brief moment and make sure that it is working. Okay, it is throwing out, probably because I wasn't here, maybe because it wasn't chunk loaded. By the way, be very careful with this setup. I almost forgot to mention this. With this setup, probably doesn't work so well on servers. If it is not chunk loaded, you're probably going to have a problem. Let's make some points. And I technically just want a point placed in the world here, just to be chunk loading this area. So I'm going to turn chunk loading on just to make sure it keeps this area chunk loaded. It's funny when you use points just to chunk load. Yeah, I'm out of chunk loading via my FTB chunks, so that's a thing. But yeah, as you can see, it is working. I just find it weird. Why is this giving off some redstone particle effect. I might actually check the book and see if this has some kind of functionality now, because it is giving off a redstone thing. So with a little bit of mana that I have, let's drop this in. There we go. We have a little bit of mana steel. Same goes for this. Drop it in a little bit of mana steel. And then I need to turn this mana steel into, let's search mana real quick, a mana splitter. Let's make the mana splitter, place that in the center, and now this is where the fun can start to happen. Let's grab my wand, and now I need to focus all of these onto the mana splitter, so that way it evenly distributes all of the mana to this one spot. So up next, runes. Now that I have a little bit of mana built up in here, and yeah, I went ahead and ate some dinner while this was doing its thing, we can now go ahead and make ourselves a runic altar. And this runic altar, if we set this up properly, which I'd like to place it on top of here, if we set a couple of mana spreaders to it, I'm going to set 4 just to make it a little bit faster. If we set this up just like so, we can go ahead and start rune crafting. So we're going to need some living rock, we're going to need our wand, and we're going to need to start crafting all of the basic runes. So rune of water, it requires like all of these items. I wish we had like refined storage, because I can just bring them all into the inventory. But we need a fishing rod, for example, fishing rod. And then let me go ahead and add all of these to our hot list over here. We need all of the basic, which I think is the 4 of these, and then there's 1 rune of mana that we're gonna need. So there's 5 basic ones. I would call them basic, and they're gonna give us 2 apiece. So I need sugarcane, and what was the last one? String. Sorry, bone meal. Bone meal. And we have the last bit right here, and then we're gonna need mana powder, which can be redstone. I mean, since we have tons of redstone, might as well use that. And we can just go ahead and drop this all in. There we go. Perfect. Gosh, you gotta love mana. All right, so at this point we have everything, and including mana steel. So let's grab all this. And so what I can do is I'll just right click this on here. Boop. Get all these items going. And then these 3 items here are what's going to change this thing. As you can see, it's active, and this is going to fill up. There's a little bar right there. Bam, super quick. When this is done, I just right click that on there, hit it with the wand, and voila, I have runes. And it does give me 2. Now, keep in mind with rune crafting, if you use a rune inside the runic altar for a runic craft, you will get your runes back. But if you use them in a crafting table, they're gone forever. So you'll have to remake them. So try your best to make all of your runes, such as like the higher tier runes and stuff. Try and make them before you have to start using your runes to do else. Otherwise, I'd recommend maybe making 8 of these a piece, and then you probably won't have to worry about it, because there's not a whole lot uses the runes outside of the runic altar crafting. So keep that in mind. So with all of my fantastic runes crafted, we actually get to use that. I've got to turn it into a terra steel agglomeration plate, because this is going to be what basically runs or is what I create my terra steel with, which is what's going to get our portals open. So I need to place this down. I think this is close enough, and I am going to need let's see. You know what's crazy is I've been playing modded Minecraft for this long, and I still sometimes forget the names of things. Like things just like right now. I didn't even think about it. Like I was trying to come up with a name or figure out the name, just looking at things, and then realized, oh, it's called a spark. My brain sometimes just does some weird things. So I'm gonna set a spark here and a spark on top of this agglomeration plate, and then I need to clear out the bottom of this agglomeration plate. And let's see, can I remember what this is made out of? So it's made out of living rock, and I believe the living rock goes underneath in this pattern. So the living rock itself goes underneath, and then we need lapis blocks. And by the way, in this pack, there's an upgraded version of this agglomeration plate, and we're gonna have to use it, I believe. Oh boy, is that gonna get crazy. So lapis. out of all things, we're going to be using lapis blocks. I still always found that kind of weird. I wonder why it wasn't like some other block, but I guess it kind of looks cool. But there we go. So, do we have enough in this pool currently to make, I think it requires a half a mana pool, does it not? I think it does. So I'm probably going to, actually, let's go ahead and place sparks. We should be able to place 3 sparks, 3 more sparks, 1 on all of these. And they should link, like this right here should be linked to all of them. I can test that by clicking on here. And you can see that I think they are all linked. I can't really tell about the back one. So what are we going to need? Well, we're going to need a mana diamond. We're going to need a mana pearl and this. So long as the recipe hasn't been changed, we're going to make ourselves some terra steel. So place this down, and this down. And voila, all of our mana is going to come together to make terra steel. And like I said, I told you we're going to be getting into this mod real quick. Look at that. We've already made terra steel. First thing I can do with this is boop, turn that into terra steel nuggets. And the thing we're going to need is natura pylons. We're going to need an elven gateway. Right off the bat, let's go ahead and make the elven gateway. The natura pylons, we are going to need mana pylons first and foremost. And then these get turned. Actually, they need eyes vendor, don't they? These get turned into the natura pylons. Wow, this is even quicker than I thought. And then we need 2 mana pools. 2 fancy mana pools. Let's go ahead and throw our rock there. And we're almost done. I think this is almost it. So we just need to build our gateway. Oh, I just realized I'm Endoflames. I just realized I could probably place some more Endoflames back here, can't I? There we go. Now we're maxed out on Endoflames. So I'm going to put this portal, I guess, right here for right now. I tend to build it in this way. It's just how I've built it for, you know, the last few years. It's kind of crazy. I've been playing modded for so long. But that's typically how I place it. Now, you used to use living wood logs. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I'm assuming that's the way. This is called, this is living. So do we need to just turn it? Oh, we need to turn it into living wood. And then we build the portal out of living wood. I've got to look in the book now because this has changed. So I did figure it out. It actually does use the regular logs. I want to test out and see if these mana pools support being up a block. Because normally I place them down on the ground, but I think it'd be a lot cooler looking if they were up high like this. Now, of course, there's a faster way to do this, and that is a mana tablet. We can go ahead and get some mana in here quite quickly if we can make one. Where is the tablet? Tablet, there we go. So we'll just make a simple tablet. This needs to be sent to sending mana to tablet or sparing mana to tablet. I can speed this up too by using an acceleration wand, or used to be able to. Let's see. Oh, it needs to be set to, yeah, swapping the other way around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can throw this in and I can speed it up. Yeah, with that. Perfect. And I just need to get a little bit of mana inside this pool. And of course it's going to dump from here. You can see it is doing its thing. And I'm going to grab that. That should be enough mana. And then we can dump the rest of this into that one. Perfect. That should be enough mana, at least to jumpstart this thing. Let's place the pylons on top and then click with our wand. And if all successful, we have a portal. This actually looks really cool. And there we go. So we have now opened a portal to Alfheim, but we can't really go into it. Like, it doesn't, like, boop, we don't go into it, but we can send information in and receive information back because those elven people over there are just so generous to us. Well, I would have to say this is the start of Botania. Now, I know we didn't go over too much about like why I'm diving into this and why we have what we have and decorating everything, but believe me, this is a great setup for Botania, and as you can see, it just generates a ton of mana over a short period of time. Will it be the best in the world for moving forward? Definitely not. We'll have to upgrade eventually, maybe go to TNT. But for right now, it gets the job done. And, well, guys, I think it's time to thank the sponsor of today's video. And that, my friends, is going to go to Elon Musk. Yeah, Elon Musk. The dollar store version of Elon Musk. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over the Discord. Oh wow, it doesn't actually show up. Let me move it over here. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting this channel. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome and definitely what drives this channel. Guys, thank you so much. Of course, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you're new, and comment down below what you enjoyed the most, and if there's something, a tip or something that you want to share with me, that is the perfect place to do so. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.